Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to our May 23rd, 2024 serial weather briefing for tomorrow, Friday the 24th. We're just going to go over really quick some of the ingredients, what's shaping up across the Great Lakes tomorrow. Timing-wise, right off the bat, we're going to go and say that this is timing still being worked on a little bit. We had differentiating models. We'll go over there here in a second. But yeah, so we're going to dive into the 4 different ingredients, which are slim. So you have shear, lift, instability, and moisture. And so we're going to start with shear. And let me switch over to my other tab here, if I can. Upper air. That's right. HRRR doesn't really do upper air. So we'll switch to the NAM.
Yeah.
All right, 200 millibar heights. So this is currently 18Z tonight, or this afternoon, so this was 3 o'clock. We have a little bit older model runs because these came out, again, at 3 o'clock this afternoon. But looking at our jet stream for tomorrow, not a whole lot going there, maybe a little bit of a trough in the upper levels there. Again, we're looking for values that would be anywhere in the blues and the pinks there, which are over 75 to 85 knots of wind, but we're just not seeing that. Oh, every time I scroll, it goes hurricane on me. Yeah, so we have a little bit there where you can kind of see a little bit of a trough there where the lines kind of bend in a little bit there over in Wisconsin. And then as this moves on overnight, I believe the NAM is the run that's saying it's going to be later at this point, whereas the HRRR, I think, has it coming a little bit earlier. Alex, did you see that earlier today or no?
I did, yeah. I was going to say the timing between the two has been kind of a little off within about 6 hours of each other. So kind of waiting to see if maybe this evening's runs they'll start to kind of converge a little bit on a solution.
Yeah, and that's a huge difference right there. 6 hours. It could be a daytime or a nighttime event, and those models will work themselves out. We're waiting on the 00Z run to come out here, which will come out here in just a few minutes. Looking at our 500 millibar heights. So again, this is our shear, but more closer to the surface. Again, it looks like our shear levels here are over 70 knots. Let me scroll down, just look at the values here. Yeah, 70 knots is going to be the darker purples, which here's Friday at 11 a.m. Moving on into the afternoon and then evening time. Our greatest shear in the mid-level levels don't pick up until after dark here. So if it can line up with the strongest storms, we would see potentially a damaging wind threat come on shore sometime after midnight. Again, this is off our NAM. And then getting down closer to the surface here, we'll go jump down to 925 millibars for our shear. And as you can see, it looks like that lower level shear is strongest off in Wisconsin and Illinois tomorrow. This is 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Central, and then we move into 8 p.m. our time. And then our greatest low level shear tomorrow does increase a little bit earlier, around 9 p.m. It looks like here. Wait, nope, this is 11 p.m. as compared to about 2 a.m. It's a little bit earlier. And then this is 2 a.m. for kind of dissipating once we get closer to sunrise. So that's your shear. Overall, their shear seems to be just lacking a little bit and could be off in timing. We'll move over to our lifting mechanism here. Let's see if I can remember. That's under instability, I believe.
And while Joel's looking for that, for everybody that just joined us, we are talking about that potential severe weather threat tomorrow afternoon and evening here over the Great Lakes area here in Michigan and also Wisconsin and Illinois. I know Shauna there mentioned what are the chances for severe weather in southern Wisconsin tomorrow. Right now, it is a lower risk. The Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk, which is a level 2 of 5. So the threat is there, which is why we're doing this briefing here. But again, like I said, this threat of thunderstorms will be most prevalent after, I would say, 4 or 5 p.m. at the earliest, through the evening and overnight hours. And that's kind of what we're talking about now is the timing to see exactly when those thunderstorms might move through. So I think Joel has his
Yeah.
graphics up here.
Yep. So this is our lift index. This is just kind of like a forcing mechanism. No forks involved, no spoons either here, but forcing along the trough there. You can see in about noon is when it's strongest. And then again, it looks like this HRRR run is a little bit faster. So you do have that line potentially coming onshore Michigan by 6 p.m. But again, this was the 18Z run this afternoon. We're waiting on the 00Z run, which is coming out here in a couple minutes. And I'm actually going to check that right now just to see how fast it's loaded.
It's about at 17.
Yep.
Yes. So 17Z would be 1 in the afternoon. It still looks a little fast to me. But
Yeah.
We'll switch back to 18Z just for convenient purposes there. We're looking for values that are lower than -5 degrees Celsius. That's usually the precursor to severe weather. So that means you're looking for anything that is red or better. And we can see that is somewhat of a show there, especially in Southwest Michigan, where we do believe the strongest risk of severe weather will be tomorrow. So your lifting mechanism is definitely there. So far we have moderate shear, moderate lift, so kind of like a middle of the pack sort of day, and that's why we have a slight risk now. Instability, which I will switch over to College DuPage for because it's a lot easier. So your surface instability, or CAPE, C-A-P-E in all caps. Again, that's your fuel for the storms growing tall there. And as we can see on the HRRR run, most of that stronger instability occurs early in the day in northern Illinois, almost a little bit south of that 5% tornado zone, which is included in Wisconsin right now. And then we don't really get much in the way of instability until later in the evening. And at that point, we're only looking at about 500 to 1,000 surface CAPE, which is it's a decent amount, but it's nothing to like say, wow, that's incredible at. And then as you can see, these kind of horizontal or diagonal little blue lines that are mixed in there, that's your capping inversion, which pretty much nullifies any storm development. And that appears after 7 p.m. tomorrow, and it almost pretty much just fizzles out before it even gets halfway across the state. But we have to look at one more ingredient before we look at our reflectivity, and that is our moisture. So we need moisture for storms, and to do that, we need to look at our dew point temperature, and that there is no lack of dews there. So good solid dews for storms around this time of the year, anywhere in the 60s or higher. So anywhere where you see blues, we get dews right around 60 tomorrow. Nothing really higher than that. The better dews will be off across the lake in Illinois and Wisconsin. So far we have moderate shear, moderate lift, and also moderate instability, although more on the weaker side of things. And then finally we have moisture, which is also right around average and normal. So this could be just your average sort of severe weather day tomorrow. And we will go over our couple projections here of what the line timing will look like. So this is, again, our latest HRRR run. Yeah, switch over to precipitation here. Simulated reflectivity. So this is what the radar could look like for tomorrow. Nothing going on throughout the night tonight. You get into 8 a.m. tomorrow, you can see a bow echo sort of feature racing across Iowa, moving into Wisconsin, northern Illinois. Perhaps could become a little bit supercellular in nature. I noticed that the SPC was mentioning that in their wording a little bit. If cells can fire off in front of it, they will be the main tornado producers. Otherwise, it does look like this will be a damaging wind threat. And then that bow kind of moves onto the lake by 5 p.m. Eastern, and then over onto our side of the lake, although it looks like it is kind of going down in nature here, just given the reds and the pinks disappearing here on reflectivity by around 7 to 8 p.m. And then it turns into general thunderstorms by the overnight hours. So that's just the HRRR run. We got to look at the RAP, which is kind of another indicator of what good reflectivity will look like for tomorrow. Same story of a bow racing across Iowa. It looks a little bit more grungy on here because it's not as high resolution, but you can kind of tell that bowing segment is a little bit there. And then that races across the lake actually a little bit later, potentially. So this would be Tuesday. So this would be around 9 to 10 p.m. at the earliest on the west side of the state. And then by that would be 4 a.m. in the morning. It's halfway across the state. And then by sunrise, it's on the eastern side of the state. So again, these two totally different models are showing 2 different times. We'll go switch over to the NAM NST model, which is also another close range model that we look at too. So this is 8 a.m. You see that Boeing segment over there in Iowa. And then it actually dissipates, moves into Wisconsin, and then it forms another line instead off the backside of it in Wisconsin and Illinois. And this is definitely would be like a QLCS type of wind event, similar to what we've seen in the past couple of days. Race across the lake, and it wouldn't even be on shore to our side of Lake Michigan by midnight. And then this is, you can see it's kind of fizzling out here by 4 a.m. to the east side. So this one kind of has it. So basically, the MST has a second line forming after the first line fizzles, comes through late but pushes across the state quick, whereas the other 2 lines kind of just totally opposite of each other. So we will probably nail down the timing of tomorrow when we wake up in the morning, when the models become a little bit clearer. So as of right now, just expect for Michigan, anywhere in Michigan, 6 p.m. or later will be your timing for that. And then again, we'll look over at our risk categories, which we also posted on the page earlier today. This is from the 1:30 update. The new day tomorrow, or I guess you'd say at 2 a.m. tonight, they'll issue the day 1 forecast, which will be for tomorrow's stuff, and they will update this graphic. But for right now, you can see slight risk for Southwest Michigan, marginal risk kind of up 127, crosses over to Elma, Mount Pleasant, and then goes up towards the Oceana and Manistee counties areas there, and then crosses into Wisconsin. Switching over to our tornado product. So no chance for tornadoes tomorrow in Michigan, which is good. There's a 2% just on the other side of the lake and a 5% kind of bullseye within the southern ranges of Wisconsin there, even northern Illinois a little bit, and perhaps eastern Iowa. So good news there for the tornado risk. We're not really expecting anything in terms of tornadoes tomorrow. But again, in any severe weather event, we want to say that it is non-zero, so anywhere between 0 and 2% chance of a tornado tomorrow. Looking at our severe wind risk, this is probably going to be the one we're looking at the most. We might have to watch closely for a potential upgrade, especially on the other side of the lake, given that racing Boeing segment coming in from Iowa. But you can see the slight risk kind of encompasses that 15% to 30% chance of damaging winds down in Southwest Michigan, and the brown zone would be 5 to 14% chance there. As my voice starts to go out on me here. Severe hail, 5% risk for anywhere in the marginal to slight tomorrow. So hail's not much of a factor given this Boeing segment. And I wanted to look at a sounding, not to confuse anybody here. Or actually, you know what? We'll switch over to our wrap. This is the 21Z model run. Perfect. Okay. Supercell composite. So this is kind of putting all the ingredients together for tomorrow. As you can see here, wrap's kind of focusing on a later start, 8Z, which would be 4 a.m. And I'll pull up a sounding here kind of just to see if there's anything notable here. If it ever loads, it's a little slow. So marginal severe is the potential hazard type. We don't really look at that. We kind of just look at these graphs. So what you're seeing here on the left side of the screen is a horizontal look up into the atmosphere where your red line is your temperature, your green line is your dew point. Looks like a very moist profile given that the lines are really close together like that. And then the spin in the atmosphere, you're looking for kind of these C shapes. We're not really seeing that on our wrap, at least tomorrow. So that's good there. So not really much of a shear. And actually, there's your capping inversion right there, where your red line goes over your cap or your cape line, which is this dash blue. So anytime you see this red line to the right of blue, that means it's capped. And that's what we look for on days when severe weather is expected to see if storms can be upscale in nature. So capping inversion could be a problem tomorrow night, similar to what we just had on, I believe it was Wednesday, right, Alex? Where we stayed up all night?
Yeah, Tuesday night and the Wednesday morning, yep.
Yeah, so it could be a kind of a similar story here. Again, you don't want to let your guard down, but we're just letting you know that right now capping inversion could be in place. So Michigan may not see much in terms of severe weather at all tomorrow night if that can overcome anything else. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, Alex, or want me to pull up?
No, the biggest thing we're going to be watching, kind of like you hinted on, is observational trends tomorrow morning. One of our biggest things we're going to be watching, what the forecast models kind of shown was, is this big line of storms out in Iowa going to continue to race east and stay together as it approaches Michigan tomorrow afternoon and evening, or is it going to break up and dissipate, and then new storms will fire out ahead in eastern Iowa and western Illinois, and then race east? Because that'll be a pretty big difference in the forecast, not only in timing, but potential strength of storms as well. As Joel mentioned, there's going to be a slight cap in place. So depending on how these storms evolve, will be a big thing. We'll want to look for tomorrow what's called a mesoscale convective vort, which is a little technical term for you guys, but it's basically a little small scale mesoscale aid in type of storm development that sometimes we can't see ahead of time, that we can only see on the day of. So there's a lot of variables right now, even though it's the night before the event. So again, we don't have specific timing other than a general time. So like Joel said, after about 5-6 p.m. tomorrow through about midnight to 2 a.m. Is when we're expecting storms. So if you guys have plans throughout the day on Friday, whether it's works, school, events, you should be good for most of the day through the morning into the afternoon. It's really the last half of the afternoon into the evening when we're really starting to expect any type of potential storm development here in Michigan, especially.
I see Ryan just popped in. So Ryan is okay, everybody. He's out of the ER.
Hey, welcome back, Ryan.
So question, is Chandler back from Iowa? He is not. He's actually chasing down in Oklahoma at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, he's on a tornadic supercell, I think, right now, too.
Yes.
Yes, he's taking his chasecation, as us storm chasers like to call it, where you take a week every year to go down to the plains or out to the plains or just Iowa or wherever's close that has severe weather, and just kind of check out the storms there. They're a little bit different in nature compared to what we see here. Of course, Michigan went off this year, so we kind of got a taste of that great plain weather up here. But Chandler will be back, I believe, probably for Sunday's event.
Yeah. He'll be chasing Sunday's event more locally in the Midwest, at least, as he's on the way back.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the parade on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. Some weather apps, to kind of answer you guys' question in chat here, they don't show the nighttime forecast, which is really, really, really reckless, I like to call it. Because you go, if you're glancing on your app for 5 seconds, you see, oh, hey, here's all the logos of all the weather that's happening throughout the day. That only shows what's happening during the daytime. It's not showing what's going to happen at night. There was a time earlier this year where we had 2 straight days. It wasn't this past week, but it was a couple weeks prior, either in March or February, probably with a severe weather event, where we had storms at night, and the 7-day forecast on the iPhone was like, oh, sunny every single day, and they don't have the logo for at night. So again, this is why you should have other ways to check the forecast. Make sure to really kind of nail it in depth. There's actually, you could just go to the National Weather Service forecast page. So if you type in NWS GRR or NWS Detroit, wherever you live, every single National Weather Service has their own webpage, and you can literally just go click on your city, and they give you a detailed, semi-detailed, like paragraph or two of like what forecast or what's going to be in the forecast for your area, both during the day and during the night. And it's a really helpful tool if your app is inefficient in forecasting for you.
Z model is looking like it's loaded a lot more.
It's something.
It's something there. This is HRRR is the first model to load for 00Z, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll look at Supercell Composite we won't go over the slim thing again, just to kind of get because we already got the gist of that. For those who are just tuning in, we went over slim. So that's shear, lift, instability, and moisture, the 4 ingredients we need for severe weather. Supercell Composite here kind of just throws that all together and gives you a number from 0 to whatever it goes up to. And it looks like we're seeing that peak here in the Wisconsin, Illinois region for 20Z, which would be about 4 in the afternoon. And then it looks like it moves across to our side by 8. So it looks like the HRRR has slowed down a little bit. I'm going to switch it over to our reflectivity. And fast forward, there's that Boeing segment in Iowa. Wow, that's
Quite the Boeing segment.
yeah. Looks like it fades, so it's kind of going off that NAM NST run, or if that Boeing segment fades, moves up towards Lake Michigan, just vanishes completely, and then a second line forms with more Boeing segments here around 6 p.m., gets across onto Lake Michigan by 7, and reaches our side by 8 p.m. tomorrow. It looks like it maintains somewhat a little bit of strength with isolated pop-up cells behind it. Which
What are those cells behind it?
Yeah, that was not on the previous model run. So
on any of them.
Yeah, that's a first for us that we've seen. So it looks like that the Boeing segment will probably get.
I wonder if that's due to increase in the nocturnal low-level jet. Is there a? Can you bring up the upper? Yeah.
This is as high because it doesn't have the jet, but here's your 500 win. So this would be. Wait, this is Saturday. Oops. Friday. So this is 6 p.m., 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. And then 1 a.m. is when they pop up, which is right there in that southwest corner. So perhaps.
Yeah.
What else should we look at here? Severe weather. Go back to Supercell Composite just to kind of give it a run here. It doesn't really it doesn't really have any indication behind it.
No.
But we'll take a sampling here out in front of the line. We'll take this from the Kalamazoo area. So just kind of general severe. Looks like steep lapse rates. Let me see. 8.6 degrees Celsius per kilometer. So for those for those who may have not picked up on what a lapse rate is over the past couple streams, since we mentioned it a lot, that's your change in temperature with height. We usually look at that for hail. Is there anything else we use it for there, Alex?
Generally hail, but we can also see it for
CAPE.
For CAPE, yeah, another indication of CAPE, yeah.
Yeah. And that CAPE is anywhere, again, between this dashed white line and our temperature profile. So it looks like there's not as much of a cap. I mean, minus 36, there's still a little bit of
even if that cap is that weak, then any storm can kind of overcome it if it's already organized.
Right.
But yeah, those storms, firing behind that main line, it'll be interesting to see where the surface boundary is at that point. The warm front has to move through tomorrow, and we'll probably kind of stall out in southern lower Michigan. So if those storms fire either an increase in the nocturnal low-level jet and/or an outflow boundary, it'll be interesting to see if it forces any type of shift in those risks.
So it looks like most of our strongest ingredients are confined to the southwest corner, as believed by that slight risk. But again, you can expect risk anywhere in that marginal, even into the thunderstorm category for tomorrow. So again, don't let your guard down tomorrow night. I'm going to go switch over to comments here, see if I'm missing anything. Are we expecting severe weather on the eastern side of Michigan tomorrow and this week? Probably not so much tomorrow night into Saturday, but we will have to watch Sunday at this point because it looks like Sunday might be the event to watch.
Yep. Yeah, right now, just given the timing of tomorrow night into Saturday, the further east you go, generally, with the further we go into the nighttime hours, the less instability. The further east you go, the less the chance you will have. But it's one to bear watching, just because we haven't nailed down that timing yet. So Right now, the best chance of severe weather is the further west you get, as we've gone over the risks, as Joel brought up the map. Right now, the highest risk is in the far southwest side of the state. And then as you move further east, the risk lessens, but it's not completely zero. So it's always good to check back with us. We'll have plenty of updates between now and through the day tomorrow. So we'll always keep everybody updated in terms of the risks that you guys have here in the state. So if they change, we will be the first to let you know.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's wondering what happened to Ryan.
Looks like he was just briefly in here and had to go away real quick. So
yeah, he said check your personal message there, Alex. We don't have really, again, with the forecast being a little bit off in timing from now, we don't have a timing map up yet. Again, all we can really say at this point is to expect storms anytime after 6 p.m. tomorrow. And that will vary by what side of the state you're on.
So it looks like we got a few people asking for Sunday. We can go a little in depth on Sunday if you want, Joel.
Yeah, I'll pull up the GFS because that's really the only one that's long term.
Yep.
Especially on College of DuPage. Also the NAM. I guess I'll go into the NAM first. So 18Z. Oh, 0Z is out. Oh, it's just starting to load. We have our first frame of 0Z NAM coming in. So if we waited a little bit long. Actually, let's go to Pivotal, see if that's loading faster on here. Nope, still on one frame over here as well.
I was gonna say, if you're on, still on one frame, okay.
Yeah, so we'll look at precipitation. Nope. Simulated reflectivity. There we go. Yeah. So that's tonight or tomorrow. So NAM again says 2 a.m. start, which is really late. Then we get into Sunday. Kind of make that up. That's pretty strong for being low resolution on NAM.
Yeah.
NAM NST does not go out that far. It only goes out to 60 hours, which would be this right here. So unfortunately, we can't use NAM NST for better resolution, but you can see it looks like another kind of big Boeing segment that's potentially possible with a couple ULCSs there Sunday night, Monday morning.
So I know the NAM, as it's coming into range, has been the most bullish.
Like what?
That's absolutely just those numbers are off the charts for this area, especially on the NAM. It's kind of hard to have to step back and realize that sometimes this model is a little overzealous when it comes to these numbers. So you'll start to see these thrown around sometimes on other social media sites because, you look at the other global models that have, a little better handle on the general scale of weather as a whole across the country. They can see the overall general pattern, whereas the NAM has only just now gotten into range of this event. So sometimes the NAM with bigger events will throw a big, crazy, number at you, whether it's on the supercell composite like Joel has up there, significant tornado parameter, some of these crazy numbers out there, and scream tornado outbreak. When reality sets in after a couple of runs of the NAM, it'll start to come back down.
Also, just going to point that out that no other model right now has those type of parameters. It's a standalone model, so don't take it to heart.
Yep, which is why I was going to dive into the GFS here in a second. The NAM stands for North American Model, or sometimes also referred to as the not accurate model. HRRR's high rapid refresh rate model, I believe, is the words for that.
High resolution rapid refresh.
Okay, I was close.
Have we checked the RRFS for tomorrow?
No, I have not. I just kind of went over Slim.
Okay, gotcha. We don't have to. I'm just asking.
Okay, we can maybe go. You know what? Fine, since I have it pulled up.
I'm just getting back up in here, guys. So just bear with me. I'm not sure what we've talked about. What you haven't talked about.
No, we just kind of went over Slim, shear lift, instability, moisture for tomorrow, and then kind of went through the putting it all together and the timing a little bit.
Right.
Which RRFS 21Z?
18Z is
Yeah,
far enough out.
Yeah, 18Z. I'm talking about for tomorrow.
Yeah, no, because it doesn't go out that far. What are we looking at? Reflectivity?
Yeah, just see what it says.
Okay. We'll jump. So we're backing up here a little bit for tomorrow's threat. Excuse us while we jump back and forth. So it looks like that bow kind of dissipates a little bit. And RRFS actually has supercells in Wisconsin tomorrow instead of a Boeing segment, which it looks like it becomes sort of a Boeing segment as it crosses the lake. This would be 10 p.m. Crossing onto our side of Lake Michigan. And this is by midnight. We can kind of see the gust front. It almost picks up on it there. And then again, it also has those cells back building there across Southwest Michigan. So really interesting development here.
Yeah.
The last couple of runs.
We saw that on the Monday event with a few severe weather reports. That line of storms that eventually impacted central Michigan. Those cells kind of back build into Indiana, northwest Indiana, into central Illinois later in the evening. So could be something we'll see in this event too that the models may be picking up on. But it looks more and more like at least a couple of runs that we've seen now between the NAM, the RRFS, the HRRR now looks like less of a continuation of the line in Iowa from the morning. That looks like it's more and more going to be dying out, and a higher probability of redevelopment versus just a line continuing to move through from west to east.
So GFS has it a little bit further south from 18Z this morning and more capped, which that kind of lines up better with the current day 4 outlook a little bit. So again, that NAM was, again, like what Ryan was mentioning, is a standalone model, or it was kind of just overhyping everything. So we'll have to see if this moves a little bit further north. We'll switch to supercell composite, brighter colors for putting everything together here for Sunday. It looks like we have, there's like a gap here.
So the GFS, I will warn you, looks like it was, I'm not sure why, it has like a sort of meso high north of the warm front on its run. I don't know if it's the last couple of runs it's kind of been affecting. You'll see on some of the products it'll have that like gap there, which I don't think is a real solution.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably will fill in.
Yeah. And given the fact that you have a low, regardless of which model you're using, you're having a general area of low pressure moving from central eastern Iowa on Sunday morning through Wisconsin into northern Michigan by Sunday evening. So a track like that will generally have us in the warm sector. It's going to come down to mesoscale details, any kind of clouds and rain in the morning, how kind of instability we can get up. But the fact that we have, we are in the warm sector is a good start in terms of looking for a severe weather forecast.
There's our Euro, which I don't really reference too often, but that's your surface-based cape there. That's anywhere in the blues is north of 1,000 joules. So again, that's going to be right down by the border. So like we keep mentioning, the NAM is a little bit of a standalone. It really will be maybe more of a border type event for Sunday, but again, we'll watch models as they roll in, especially here at 00Z. And this is that day 4 outlook that the Storm Prediction Center posted, where we have already a 30%, which is the equivalent of an enhanced risk on day 4. So they're very confident that widespread severe weather will be possible down there in southern Illinois, southern Indiana. Lesser to an extent up towards where we are in the yellows there in the 15 to 29%. But still a slight on day 4 is something you don't want to look away from.
Not at all. And it's worth mentioning that from day 5 to day 4, they have nudged that 15% area up further north.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
the nice thing about it is we are 4 days out, so we have plenty of time to watch this
Mhm.
and refine any of the forecasts between now and then. Like we've been talking about, it's definitely something on the horizon to keep an eye on. And again, we'll get a new set of outlooks and data overnight to update you tomorrow morning as well. Not just for tomorrow's event, but for Sunday's event too. Of course, everybody is out traveling, potentially traveling this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Everybody has potentially a lot of plans being outside maybe. Right now, again, we're focused for severe weather-wise on Friday, late afternoon, especially the evening and nighttime. Saturday, looks like probably out of the whole entire weekend, Saturday is probably going to be the better day to do anything. Lack of weather-wise, maybe an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm.
Yeah.
But nothing too terrible here around the state, which is nice. And then again, we're focused on Sunday as well. Memorial Day itself, right now, a little too early to tell. Scattered showers. Hopefully our parade is
good to go.
Good.
Precipitation. Let's see. GFS shows that low spinning around. Again, GFS is really low resolution because you use it for up to 384 hours out, which is like, 2.5, 3 weeks in advance or whatever.
Yeah.
So it looks like perhaps a little bit of spotty showers in the morning into the afternoon. But we'll see.
Yep.
Look at the RRFS again here. It does the thing where Michigan is left out, which is good if you don't want severe weather.
Yeah, it's very good.
Any other questions? Feel free to hit that like button if you enjoyed this content so far. Helps boost the algorithm as always. Anywhere after 6 tomorrow. Sunday's still going to be, we can't really give a timing on Sunday yet. But for tomorrow, anytime after 6. Angola, Indiana is, I believe, also kind of after 6 because it's on the state line, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be south, just generally south of Coldwater, I believe, on the Indiana side.
Yeah. Yes, Detroit could see potentially some severe weather tomorrow, maybe more so on Sunday. Given the proximity to the risk zones, at least. It could be, one day could be better, one day may not.
So primarily for tomorrow, hazards are going to be damaging winds, and then secondary risk being hail. Not really much of a threat for tornadoes tomorrow at all. That just does not look really like any threat for tornadoes tomorrow. But damaging winds and hail are going to be your biggest threat. As Joel has those risks up again for the state.
Yeah, so this is your overall cat. Whose fan is rattling?
I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the only one hearing that rattling.
Is that Nick?
Is this
Ryan?
me?
I hear like
Nick.
a huge rattling going on.
Yeah.
Jazz with another 50 gifted memberships. Thank you as always, Jazz.
Thank you, Jazz.
For those who are not following on YouTube, or sorry, subscribed on YouTube, which is free. Anyone who does not have a subscription could currently get that. But again, you have to be subscribed at the time of the gifted membership. So more incentive to subscribe to us on YouTube. But thanks again, Jazz, as always. Yes, we cannot hear that anymore, Nick. That sounds perfect.
Yay, Nick. So yeah, as Joel has it up there, the outlook here from at least the Storm Prediction Center, that marginal risk, the lowest severe weather risk in the dark green, that stretches from about, looks like Manistee, down to about Alma, Lansing, to about Adrian, and points to the west and south are in that marginal risk. And then the highest risk on the map in the yellow is that slight risk, which covers generally areas along and southwest of a South Haven to Kalamazoo to Sturgis line, and points to the southwest there. Again, just due to timing during the day, the further west you are and southwest you are, the higher the risk, and the risk decreases as you move east. Doesn't mean it goes to zero, it just means the risk decreases. So again, Joel, switching between the looks like the hail outlook, which is overall for everyone looks like the lowest outlook, generally up to a 5% risk for hail, and for damaging winds, for tornadoes rather, there's no risk for tornadoes, and for damaging winds is that low risk up to 5% in the marginal, and then up to 15% in the slight.
Yeah, someone was asking about all hazards possible on Sunday is definitely the possibility for Sunday there. This yellow will probably shift a little bit between now and the next 3 days, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, all hazards definitely on the table for Sunday. Just a question about the chair. How's it going with the chair?
Ryan's chair.
Don't hear anything.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it.
It's gone for now. Had a break from streaming for 5 days. Maybe the oil's finally filling back in.
So Tina, that is a good question. Sunday, again, the risk is not currently or barely in Michigan. It's just the latest data that we're seeing that is showing that risk may continue to shift north. So it's just something that is, keeping our attention. We're watching it. And again, as these outlooks are issued every day, tomorrow that risk may include more of Michigan. So we just like to give everybody a heads up, given that it's the holiday weekend and that the risk is there, just to keep an eye on it. And of course, we'll keep you updated over the next couple of days, especially for Sunday. And the better option, Tina, is definitely it could shift further south too. We are still 4 days away from this, so that is an option too.
Welcome in, Kevin.
Kevin.
We are sky watchers. It's another way to put it.
Yes. And yeah, Tina, trends are north right now. Some people say they miss the squeaky chair, Ryan. I don't know.
I will not miss it. I'm sure it'll be back though with time. It's still there very, very subtly.
At least we'll never get rid of the super stickers or whatever that the members have. Duck squeak. Oh gosh.
Squeak, squeak.
Yep. We've been live for 45 minutes now. Let's just get to that point where if there's any last questions.
Yep.
Hey, I'm back.
Otherwise, it's going to turn into MSC After Dark.
Oh no.
Welcome back, Nick.
Is it gone?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
You're also really loud now.
I can change that. How's that?
Still good.
As long as I'm not too loud.
See, this is your cloud cover to see instability from another point of view. Looks like it could be cloudy, especially on the west side of the state tomorrow, at least off the GFS. So that will hinder instability a little bit. And we get into Sunday. That could be a problem for severe weather for sure. Thank you for bringing that up, Tina. Overcast for most of the state on Sunday as of the 18Z GFS run. So that would push everything more to the south. But isolated, scattered severe storm or two can still sneak through no matter how much instability is out there. So you got to keep a watchful eye. Amazon has Ladybug chair covers. Good to know. I don't know where my Ladybug friend went.
I was a little confused by that. I had to have been there.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you ever want to have a good old laugh, you can go and look at our live stream from the other night. 5 hours worth of, I don't even know. Yeah,
Maybe I'll listen to it at work tomorrow.
there you go. One severe warning, a couple special weather statements, and about 1 million squeaky chair emojis.
That's about it.
Squeak, squeak.
Plus, I had some bugs in my room I was killing, and the ladybug that was hanging out with me, I learned it was a female or something like that. It was brown. I don't know. Anybody have any last questions? Does anything about Sunday seem more or less concerning compared to other severe setups this year? Anybody want to take that one?
Are we just comparing to what we've had so far this year?
Yeah.
Sunday definitely has the ingredients to be on par with, if things come together. The couple of events where we've had significant severe weather in the southern part of the state, like the tornado outbreak a couple of weeks ago in Southwest Michigan, or even the tornado outbreak back in February. But that's if ingredients come together. We're just not there yet in terms of making that kind of call yet. That's just the ceiling. That's how high the event could potentially come if things come together. But we still have a couple of days to watch this before we're even beginning to even think that.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people ask if I'm okay. I'm okay, guys. I'm just doing some graphic stuff behind the scenes here.
Yeah, you're too quiet, Ryan. That's what they're saying.
I was gone for like 9 hours, guys. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I gotta get caught up.
No, for sure. Everyone's just worried about you.
Yeah.
You're usually the one who talks all the time, so it's a change of pace.
I'm barely looking at chat here. I'm getting a graphic cooked up for tomorrow. I'll be on the page momentarily. Alex, shooting it your way for reference.
Yep.
MSC After Dark was funny. Yes, it was.
I was sleeping.
Lame.
We got done with the live stream, I think, when you got up.
Yeah, I wake up for work and I'm on my way to work, and
Oof.
Joel goes, "Oh, hi, Nick." And I had to hear many stories about what happened the night previous.
We love those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Oscoda, Harrisville area on Sunday. That's a little bit north, I believe, of the 15%. Oscoda's north central Michigan, I believe. Let's pull it up for reference here.
I'm about to say, Alex, if you vetoed that, I was gonna be so mad at you.
Is what?
If you vetoed that forecast, I was gonna be so mad because I spent like all last 10 minutes doing that. I
No.
probably should have. Oh, wait, I did check with you.
Yeah, you checked with me already. It's all good. I agree.
I'm losing my mind.
It's all good. I agree. You're good.
All right, let's cook this up.
Deborah asks, how long has Michigan Storm Chasers been together?
I actually went back and found our first stream. It was May of 23, I believe. Joel was on doing streaming first.
Nice.
I remember how nervous he was.
Yeah, probably. I actually just saw screenshots the other day in my phone of like how many followers were at this time last year. I think we were only at like 10 to 15K on Facebook, and now we're at 130 in the year.
It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you for everyone. Everyone has been absolutely incredible on this journey we've had so far.
The page actually did start back in 2022, but we weren't really full-time until March. I want to say March 1st of 23. So
Yeah,
not too long.
That was the big launch.
Last year was our first full storm year.
Yep.
Hammond, Minnesota, any serious storms coming our way? We are Michigan Storm Chasers, but I guess I could take a look at Minnesota. Why not?
Probably on the northern end of that eventual bow echo. Has there been convective initiation out in Nebraska yet?
I have not really checked the radar for today, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Kind of a grungy bow there. Pop-up cells along that backside just to the east of Minneapolis tomorrow in St. Paul. That's where the sphere will start for tomorrow around 5 p.m. Again, this is off the NAM NST, which is late, but we'll see.
The boot of Minnesota.
Yeah. What model run were we waiting on? Which 0Z run were we waiting on?
Damn. That should be loading in now.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's 24 frames in.
Perfect. It's
Ooh.
NAM is still late.
NAM has been late for the majority of these setups and systems.
NAM's still doing its thing for us on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
Browsing the shop, don't see regular shorts or PJ pants. Is there any way to make that happen, Nick?
Regular shorts? Let me look.
Or PJ pants is actually a really good idea. I don't know why I didn't think about that before.
Yeah.
What are you pulling?
Is that a PDS, Joel?
Yep. Supercell composite of 28 in Berry County
What?
And that's
for the NAM.
What?
Yeah. Just to show you guys that the NAM is overjuiced right now. It has development as far north as probably US 10 for Sunday. And
now the
significant
time to
development.
start worrying about Sunday is if we start getting the NAM 3s firing off storms, we get the ARRR, RFS. Once we have the cams in that start doing this too, that's the time to worry. Otherwise, just take with a grain of salt. That model overdoes things. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your NAM NST. That's rolling in now, at least for tomorrow. It's a little bit better resolution. It's sped up a little bit on the NAM NST.
Mm-hmm.
This is 8 p.m. Let me switch to our reflectivity. Oh, but okay. It's weird. It doesn't line up with the showers. We love that. Oh, maybe it does.
Oh,
Never
okay.
mind. Guess it is late. Okay.
It's very late.
Weird.
Pajama pants are a possibility. For whoever wondered.
Alex, it's doing that thing down here.
Yeah,
How I was doing on Sunday, it's also doing it for tomorrow.
yeah. Hmm. Without a deep dive into it, I'm not sure. There's
Wait, I just realized I was looking at 18Z, wasn't I? Oops.
oh
Rookie.
Oops.
no.
I was like, that can't be right because the NAM NST is only out until Friday night. My bad, everybody. I just showed you the old model run, which is the same thing. Silly me.
Silly Joel, tricks are for kids.
Fordo's in here now. We've just kind of been going over the potential severe weather for the next couple days.
Jazz, what kind of shorts are you looking for?
Joel, we're gonna get a timing map up for tonight.
You want me to work on one later tonight? I have to wait
want
for
you to cook.
Okay, fine.
I want you to cook all you can cook.
All right.
3-course meal.
I'm gonna wait for 00Z for a lot of the models, and then I'll get going on that. See what else is rolling in. Ooh, we could look at the FV3. Another different model sort of thing going on here for tomorrow. This is kind of another high resolution model that we also use behind the scenes. Not as much.
It did very poorly on the last event.
Yeah. Yeah, because look, it has big time Boeing segment here in West Michigan by 10 to 11 p.m. tomorrow night. And then survives most of the way across the state.
Yeah, it also had Tuesday night Big Bow Echo moving across the state as well, which as we know, did not happen. So
Yeah.
I think there might be something wrong with the FE3 and the core, maybe.
Yeah. See what else is coming out. I don't have anything else that's loaded right now. Ah.
What model is this, Joel?
Still FV3.
Oh,
It'll be moist. P watts over 1.3.
moist.
It's a huge inversion there. I kind of took that really close to the front. Does Michigan have lakes? Yeah, we have like 11,000 of them.
Yeah, we have a ton of lakes.
We have more than Minnesota.
I don't know if we do. I don't think so.
Somebody quick Google search that. We might have more rivers than Minnesota. I don't know. Well, I will say one thing we have the most of in the United States is lighthouses, so you can't beat that.
That's right.
Any other last questions, Nick? Are we just staying on so you can get your helicity thing sorted out here?
Kind of, yeah. So, Michigan does have 11,000 inland lakes.
There we go. What about Minnesota?
11,842.
Yeah, but
You got us.
okay, they got us.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, interesting. What?
They have a lot of lake. They have 15,291 lake basins, of which 3,257 were dry. If all basins over 2.5 acres were counted, Minnesota would have 21,871 lakes.
Wow.
That's insane.
Sounds like you just make the entire state a lake.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The more you know.
Any rain midday tomorrow to Southwest Michigan. I think the main show will just be after 6 p.m., but I will check again on the HRRR.
I don't think I saw any convection or any showers, anything before
Right.
that line comes through.
Fun fact: how many or what lake or what state do you think has the most lakes in the U.S.?
Good question.
I'm thinking because like the geography of the United States, it's got to be something out west. Am I right?
Kind of, yeah. It might surprise you, and then you're going to think, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense."
Montana?
I was
No,
gonna say like Colorado.
no,
No, it can't be Colorado. Oregon.
no,
Washington?
no. Think further north.
North of Washington. What's north of Washington? Canada.
Canada?
Alaska.
Oh,
Oh,
we
Alaska
don't
has
count Alaska.
3 million.
I mean, come on. That's
Hey.
not fair.
Come on now.
You got to think about all the United States.
Yeah.
I only think about the lower 48 half the time. I can barely count Alaska and Hawaii half the time.
We mainly think about the Lower Peninsula. Come on.
Exactly.
No,
Looks
I'm
like-
kidding. We still remember the UP.
Any forward development is going to be off that front line that eventually dissolves, heads up towards Traverse City.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
But shout out to anybody watching us from Alaska or Hawaii. If you are, then welcome. And we can't forget about all the American Commonwealths we have too, if we're counting everything.
Yeah.
Ah, you're right. Dang it. I don't even know what they are.
American Samoa, Guam, and Puerto Rico.
There's one more, isn't there?
No, just those three, I think. American Commonwealths, at least. It's what Hawaii and Alaska were before they became states.
Guam, Puerto Rico, American Samoa.
There's got to be more.
There's one more.
Pretty sure those are it.
Oh, yeah. U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, U.S. Virgin Islands, yeah.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you. Can't forget about the Virgin Islands.
I probably missed Jazz's response when I was searching that up.
We were playing Geographer.
Oops.
I did. I scrolled back up. Sorry, Jazz. So, like, you looking for like basketball shorts? Because I have those.
Good Helicity swaps for the Chicago Metro and Northern Illinois tomorrow.
Somebody say Helicity.
Mm-hmm.
Helicity.co.
Link to the store.
Write that down. Write that down. No way.
Way.
Graphic is cooked on both Twitter and Facebook, so we can relax for a second.
Now you're gonna make me look.
All right, quick poll. If we sold coffee, would you buy it?
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Coffee.
Coffee.
What I'm going to be drinking tomorrow morning copiously.
Coffee is life.
Yes.
Can we get tank tops? Yeah, we do tank tops.
We have to make more, but we can make more.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm fine. So I'll come ask if I'm fine. Fordo. Or a chair. Okay, my chair. No, it's fine too.
Yes, if it's reasonable, I'll have to do some testing.
Yes.
Decaf for Julie. Do they do decaf? Ooh, best I can do is a light roast.
Are we able to sell coffee on Helicity?
Yeah, we can.
Sweet.
We can now.
Any other
We love it.
storm-related questions? How warm does Lake Superior get? Lake Michigan in the Southwest always gets 75 tops. Always feels cold. During the summer, I believe it can get up into the mid-50s.
Water temp?
Yeah, for Lake Superior.
Yeah.
Just depends on how warm of a summer you can get. Of course, that just results in sometimes stronger storms up there in the fall and winter.
Yeah.
Has anyone other than me been to that giant thermometer in the Keweenaw Peninsula?
Nope.
Anyone in chat? I feel like a couple people in chat have seen it.
Furthest
Everything
I've been in
knows
the
it.
UP is Marquette.
Nice. It's north of Houghton. On your way up to Calumet, I believe.
Oh, Calumet, no. Brings up memories. We played Calumet when I was in high school for a state championship game, I think.
What?
For volleyball.
What sport?
It was girls volleyball. We won a state title in volleyball my senior year in high school.
Gotcha. Nobody in chat's seen the thermometer, it seems. So
Alex is crazy.
I'm just crazy.
Oh, sorry, Joel's just crazy.
Yeah, Alex is crazy.
Alex is crazy.
I'm
too.
good with that. I'm okay.
Don't mind my dad passing in the background.
I mind.
All right. Permission to order some coffee beans or coffee.
Denied.
Dang it.
Not in the budget.
On the budget. Who approved that?
Joel.
Dang it.
It's always Joel's fault.
Always. Deborah, yes. The squeak. I've been gone all day. So I think it's the break. The chair had a break today to relax. So the squeak is gone for now.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
We'll be back. Find out tomorrow on our live stream briefing in the morning. I should be back on here rocking and rolling probably sometime around, we're going to say 10 o'clock or so. Joel, are you available for streaming purposes tomorrow?
For storm chasing?
Or, yeah, I guess storm chasing or streaming. Just get an idea what's going on.
Yeah, it just depends on what I do. I plan on going home tomorrow to Lowell, so we'll see how if I keep driving further south or not.
How about you, Nick?
Possibly.
Okay.
I might be on the lake shore, Muskegon State Park,
I figured.
so I could say hey from there.
Yeah, because it's just us four until Chandler gets back.
Yep.
Chandler's enjoying himself a nice chasecation out in. Where is he at today? Oklahoma, Kansas.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
That's what I thought. I have so many chats to go through today.
Is he still out there, or is he still on the chase?
Yeah.
Is that thing still tornado warned? No.
No.
There's so many people on that one storm. It's insane.
Parking lot.
Like we said before, it's not the storm that's the most dangerous part. It's the other chasers in the area.
1000%.
I want a set of sheets for adult-sized beds. I'm short, but I can't use cribs. We have bedspreads or blankets.
I'll be right back, guys.
Here's your Sunday risk map for whoever just asked in chat there, Devin. The 15% is south of us, which would be slight. However, our day 4 through day 8 never shows marginal, so it's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to be in a marginal risk for Sunday at the very least. It depends on how far north that gets, though. Again, right now we have one bullish model being the NAM, and everything else says it's going to be state line and south. Again, we will be live streaming our storm chasing coverage, as always, if it does go severe. So you'll want to subscribe, turn on post notifications either here on YouTube or also here on Facebook. We are on our way to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. We're closing in on 8,000 right now.
That's awesome. Thanks, you guys, for watching us on those platforms as well. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
The NAM loaded more 00Z.
Did it now. Only goes through Saturday night.
Okay.
I'm looking for sheets, and I do not see an option for them.
Is that for Friday, Joel?
Yes. This is over those back building cells.
Okay.
A little bit of a cap, minus 68, minus 72 in the mid levels. This is at 2 a.m.
Where'd he go?
Oh no!
The ladybug picked him up and took him away.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hi. Had to blow my nose. Yes, 6 p.m. or later tomorrow there, Tasha. For Friday. Sunday, still a bit far out to make a timing map for. A lot of details to iron out for that. We don't usually like to make a timing map until about, at the earliest, probably 48 hours before. So we usually reserve that to the night before or the morning of. Tomorrow, more of a heavy rain, lightning, damaging wind threat. Potentially a little bit of small hail, but the tornado threat should stay on the west side of Lake Michigan. 6 p.m. Eastern time, Mary. I know you're from Minnesota, but we use Eastern here. Right, we lost Alex. Ladybug got him instead.
Surprised no one's commented about the chair taking me out today.
Wait, what?
Back in chat a few days ago, people were like, the chair's going to attack me or something.
Yeah.
Surprised no
It
one's
still might.
Josette said, grew up in Lenawee County. You are my neighbor. If any of you come down to Tampa Bay for a hurricane, let me know. I've been scoping the place for 2 years.
Have we figured out the Felicity thing here, Nick? Are we good to head off for the night?
If Julie's still in here, I have a couple questions, but I don't think I can ask her on the subscriber group chat.
That's true. Yeah.
Unless we want to talk about tank tops.
Ricky asked, what is the best thing to do for storm anxiety? So we do have a article out on our www.michiganstormchasers.com. We have a breakdown of that. I believe off the top of my head, the first bullet point in that list is to realize that you do have storm anxiety. And then from there, it's how you go about it and other resources to help you with that. So again, it's on our website at www.Michigan Storm Chaser, or is it MI Storm Chasers or Michigan Storm Chasers?
Michigan Storm Chasers.
MichiganStormChasers.com. You can also get to know us a little bit better there as well. And it will be under the blog tab, by the way, the third article down. Hopefully that helps you out. Otherwise, just being more weather aware, of course. Being weather aware is obviously like a really, really good trait that you should have. You'll never be left out in the dark. Yes, sub chat is on Facebook, but we do have one for our YouTube subscribers as well, I believe.
Sub chat? No. Patreon.
No?
I mean,
Oh, on
just
Patreon. Okay.
Unfortunately, YouTube, like, you can't have group chats on YouTube.
Well, at least on YouTube you get special stickers. Trade off.
We're going to make more.
Yeah.
Patreon sub chat doesn't really get too much action. It's all over on Facebook. So if you want to participate with us in a group chat, Facebook subscription is the way to go.
Ooh, I'm about to invest in Midland Weather Radio as well. Great to have on hand, especially for this crazy summer weather. Absolutely. Recommend it. Have a good night, Jessica. Yes, Julie is the best. Although we can't really pick favorites, can we? Because we like everybody here.
Julie's been a day one with us.
Yeah. Julie is one of the best. I feel like when I say that, like we can't pick favorites, I feel like I'm a dad and I have like 3 little kids I can't pick between.
Are you trying to tell us something, Joel?
No.
No.
Dragon, we'll have a timing map up again soon.
All right, I'm going to go to bed.
Okay.
See you, Nick. Thanks for hopping on.
Yep.
Thanks. I didn't realize they had a Skywarn this late in the year. That's good. Yeah, have a good Memorial Day weekend to you as well, Kendall. We'll be live here again as severe weather happens. Excuse me. There's a car out my window.
Jazz, for Facebook or Patreon, it depends on what you want to get out of it. If you want the group chat, Facebook is where it's most active. But if you want to read forecasts, Patreon is a much better format to read forecasts. But they do get the same forecasts. It's just better layout on Patreon. And I say that because when you imagine a wall of text that we write with our forecasts, when we have to insert pictures to reference to the forecast, Patreon lets us put those in between text. So we can just say, look at this picture below, then more text below. Facebook, on the other hand, is just a huge wall of text with like 10 or 12 pictures attached at the bottom.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit harder to read, but Patreon's a little bit better if you want the forecasts. I made a Facebook just hunt you down for us not here. Appreciate you, Jess. I'm gonna watch for your follow.
Dragon for Jackson on Sunday. That's going to be your guys going to be closer to that 15%. Definitely will be in the marginal risk, at least right now, off the top of my head. So all hazards possible Sunday. But we'll iron out those details once we get a day 3 outlook.
At the very
then we'll-
least. Sorry, go ahead.
I was say, and then some more on the day 2.
I quickly glanced at Sunday, and initial thoughts are 94 corridor would be the best area. If the NAM comes true, though, we're going to probably see a risk up to 96. But again, we're going to kind of wait to see how that plays out because right now it's the only model really showing much of, significance. Anything for the UP? No, Rhonda, you are A-OK for severe weather next couple of days. Yeah, Julie is subbed to all 3 of our subscription products. So is it true that only a certain percentage of storms produce tornadoes? Yes. So only a very few percent are supercells, which is a type of storms that usually produce tornadoes. And of those supercells, I think only like 20 or 30% of those produce tornadoes. So it's a very low percentage. And conditions have to be just right for those to happen. So yes, on any given severe weather day, it's typically pretty low unless we have that wind shear that kind of concerns us. Do I have to have a membership to the group chat, you guys? If you want, Kendall, it's on Facebook. Just click sign up or subscribe. It's not required by any means, but if you want to get in the group chat, then Facebook's the way to go. Are we on X or Rumble? Yes. We are on X. We do not have Rumble, though, although we are considering it, weighing the pros and cons of it. Don't know too much about it, honestly. I know Ben is the only person who really knows about Rumble. I don't know if you know about it, Joel, or...
Vaguely. Weather for parade, Memorial Day in Linden. Again, showers and scattered storms could bring, oh my gosh, I can't English sometimes. Be brought down from the low pressure passing to our north. There we go. So expect a little bit of wet weather on Monday. Again, we only have the GFS to go off of, so we can't really look at any high resolution models of the rain, but there's some specs around on the radar or on the GFS run.
some blips.
Yeah.
Are we close to a YouTube button yet? What's a YouTube button? Like, when do those start? I know what they are, but when do they start?
Viva 100K, I think, is the first one.
We'll get there
Yep.
eventually.
Another question is, do all 5 of us get one? Or do we have to pass it around like it's the Stanley Cup?
We have to get together and take a picture of it and then flip a coin to see who gets it. I don't know.
Yeah, we're a long ways from 100K on YouTube, but keep spreading the word. That's all you can do.
Michigan has 12 million or so people living in it.
10
So,
mil.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
think
flat.
you're right.
It's flat.
Right.
It's been flat over the last 20 years, kind of.
Still, 10 million. If we get 100,000, that's 0.1%. Am I right? No?
We have 5 on staff here, Kendall. So all 5 of us would have to get buttons, or just one to share. We'll slice it into 5 different portions. Sunday, tornado weather, definitely on the table more so than tomorrow. Tomorrow's tornado risk, if you guys just joining, is over in Wisconsin, Illinois, not on this side at all. But again, with any severe weather, we can't say it's going to be 0. We have to always say just above 0.
Yeah, if we're typically concerned for tornadoes, we're going to tell you guys. And this one doesn't really concern us too much, but we've had some freak incidents so far this year in Michigan, so we can't always say it's 0, but just not seeing that right now. Why can't I find the button on Facebook? If you go to the Facebook profile, there should be a sign up button or a subscribe button. In fact, I can drop it in the chat here. Where are you at? You're on YouTube, Jazz. All right, we're gonna pop the subscriber link in chat here. There.
Do we have Great Lakes Storm Chasing Network on YouTube, Ryan?
Yes, it is.
How many subscribers do we have on that?
450 or so.
Oh, okay.
We're getting close to monetization on that.
Okay. I was gonna say, because the AI brand just posted, you may get 100K first of the Great Lakes page, but
No.
Especially on YouTube. YouTube's gonna be, we're more ahead on MSC.
Once we get to 1,000 subs, we can start giving memberships out on that account as well. So that'll help us. Can we go over Sunday? Honestly, we could. I think we already have.
Yeah, we already have.
But the honest answer is we're not going to dive too deep just because it's still too far out to get specific. So we can tell you things, but it could change within the next few model runs. So at this point, it's just kind of looking at what's the word I'm looking for? Fantasyland, I guess. Not really Fantasyland.
Kind of semi-Fantasyland.
Yeah.
We will say, again, if you want to go back and look, we did go over it at the beginning of the broadcast. So once we're done here, you can go back and rewind it a little bit.
My chair is squeaking again.
Sunday looking stormy, yes. Although with it being cloudy most of the day right now, it looks like it could be the instability could be hindered a little bit. So maybe more so rain, less so storms. Again, we have a lot to tune out by Sunday.
Unfortunately, Kevin or Kendall, we don't offer ride-alongs just for legal reasons. So
make the Indy 500 roll. Brendan's one of my friends. Make the Indy 500 roll full length on Sunday, please. Unfortunately, cannot control the weather as much as we would like to. But yeah, Sunday, it being in that 15 to 30% zone down there in Indianapolis, outlook less than ideal for the Indy 500 to make it through the entire race. They're just outside the 30%, but deep into the 15% zone.
Looking at the latest models, though, that should probably increase north, judging that the European GFS is pulled way north as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Fordo, that is correct. Also, congrats on your wrench. You're a mod now, Fordo.
Nice.
If your chair starts to squeak again, I bought 3-pack WD. People last night were actually donating to a chair fund, so I'll get a new chair here momentarily. We gotta get a Joel desk fund now going.
I don't know why my friend brought that up. I'm at a desk right now. It's crowded because my TV's on it.
No, I'll be getting that new chair here pretty soon. Drew says the 00Z NAM continues northward push. So it continues to be a standalone model, looks like. I'm going to pop on here real quick and look at the...
Oh yeah, I forgot it's been loading in the background this entire time. Hold up.
Yeah, it's looking pretty the same. So we'll watch Sunday. I don't think the parameter spaces are going to be this concerning. If it is, we're going to be, overly concerned. But
Oh wow.
yeah, it's looking pretty good. But again, being Sunday, we have models that come out. The NAM is the first short range model, but it typically overdoes things, which is what we're likely seeing here. So we're not going to take this as full, gospel, so to speak, until we have more confidence in other models that come and join this. And right now, we don't have any other models, period, to look at. So we're just going to kind of wait and see. The NAM 3 should come out. What is today? Thursday. So by tomorrow afternoon, we should have an idea of what the NAM 3 is going to say. But again, the NAM 3 isn't that great this year. So we have to kind of wait to get into these short-term models to really get a good picture and handle on these systems.
It's a lot of cape.
I know. True. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. It's a lot of cape.
One thing I noticed among the GFS, Euro, and NAM is one thing is certain, and that is your wind shear is going to be cranking. If we get instability up into Michigan with moisture and lift, we're going to be looking probably at severe weather. I don't think the wind shear is the wind shear is the least concerning, or the confidence in enough wind shear being present is quite high. It's just going to be a matter of coupling that with your instability. That's the part we're not sure on yet. But let's also focus here on our future, which is tomorrow with the severe risk. Let's not overlook that. Let's get through tomorrow first, and we can come back on Friday night or Saturday morning and look at Sunday. Because by then, we'll have a good idea what's going to likely be happening. What does the CSU future model show? That's a good question. I didn't look at it today.
Yeah, if you want to take your screen, Ryan, I've kind of had mine up for a while.
I mean, I'm not going to be on here too much longer, I don't think.
Right, yeah. For the CSU future model.
I don't really want to bring it on here unless it's, realistic.
Okay.
But I can pull it up here. I did not get a chance to look this morning.
So true wind determines the size of tornado. So EF0 through EF5 is rated on the wind damage from the tornado. So you can have really skinny EF5s and you can have really fat EF0s. I should say wide, my bad. Very wide EF0s. Call them sick boys.
So the CSU is quite bearish on Michigan's threat. But again, this is also going off a few different models. I don't think it includes the NAM. So that tells you anything. I'll bring it in here real quick to show you guys what it's looking like. So the CSU learning model is basically think of it as AI trying to predict where the best probability of severe weather is going to happen. And right now it doesn't really show much in the way of Michigan. That brownish color around it, wouldn't be too concerned about that. But we'll have to wait. This update's overnight tonight, so we can look at it tomorrow morning. It does a fairly good job of depicting the higher risk areas across, we'll say, Illinois, Indiana, and parts of the Ohio River Valley there. So definitely have a threat down there, a good threat at that. But it doesn't really show much here for Michigan just yet. And along with that, different forecast guidance called SIPs analogs doesn't really favor this setup for Michigan just yet either. but we are seeing the trends today that it could become concerning. So we'll watch.
Mhm. I think we're good though. We've been on here for an hour and a half. It's pretty long for a briefing.
Indeed.
So, any last statements there, Ryan? Any last questions from chat here or no?
I got nothing. I'll be on here. The plan is at least to be on here tomorrow morning to go over an updated guidance and stuff like that. So expect one sometime probably between 10 and 12. Perhaps we'll go live again for the SPC at 12:30. I don't know. Sometime this tomorrow morning we'll go over things again. We'll have coverage if need be. So.
Mhm.
But yeah, with that being said, I think we're going to hop off here. Joel's got to cook his timing map up, so expect that sometime probably at 2 in the morning.
Probably.
So have that up, and then we'll look at our guidance overnight, readjust our thoughts in the morning, and expect another forecast from us again in the morning as well. So with that being said, you guys have a good night. Stay safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Yep. Hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you later.